I want to shift towards, you've made so many changes in your diet, your health, you've experienced chronic fatigue,
Yeah.
you know, and we haven't talked about that. So let's dive into that actually deeply. I've been through chronic fatigue. It lasted a long time. It led to deeper gut issues. It's led to so many lifestyle changes. It was stuff that also just snuck up on me without me even being aware, because I was living so much in the mind and my heart that I wasn't even aware of what my body was going through.
Yeah.
And so I was, grounding back into my body. How does it feel to live your career and experience chronic fatigue? Actor days are sometimes 18-hour days, if not more. Early mornings, late nights. I think people don't realize the lifestyle of making a movie or making a show where you're in a trailer all day. It's not the most comfortable, inspiring atmosphere as people think the career may be. How does that work with chronic fatigue and diet and eating out of time?
Yeah. I mean, I say to myself, I'm like, damn, I'm in the wrong career. I don't actually believe that. But, I'm someone who very much needs at least 8 hours to function.
Yeah,
and so sometimes
too.
when it's a 4-hour turnaround or I have to get up and go on a plane quickly, I'm like, oh God, this is a challenge for me. But because it's something that I love to do so much, I truly just run off the pure joy I find in what I do. And it's not so, I take naps when I can, but I also am very much now at this point in my life, really taking my gut health seriously. I've treated my body like a junkyard for a very long time with what I've been eating. And it's got to a point where earlier this year, I knew I needed to make real changes because I was so unhappy with how I looked, but also I felt that I was doing a great disservice to my body. I spend so much time trying to better my mental health, and I don't put any of that into my physical body. And there's all this new research on how depression is directly related to your gut and all these things. And I'm like, okay, we're going to take this seriously. Yeah. And it is a truly reprogramming of bad patterns and habits that I've grown up just immediately going to the fast food, to processed foods. And it's truly been about educating myself on the better options and reading ingredients and choosing the less convenient alternative. And I actually think that the chronic fatigue has slowly started to improve.
So happy to hear
because
that.
of it.
So happy to hear
I mean, me too. I've been dealing with this basically since I was diagnosed with depression when I was 14.
Yeah.
So it's just now, and it's always, I don't know if it'll fully cure itself with my diet. We're getting there. We're trying. But it's an everyday thing, small steps, not trying to completely change everything all at once. And I think obviously in these hard times, food is a great comfort and offers a lot of, to me at least, it can be very comforting. So I do turn to food sometimes to fill that sort of emotional need. But again, recognizing that, not judging myself for it, just trying to make healthier decisions overall is what I'm very much trying to do.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can relate to everything you just said. So,
it's a daily practice.
It's a daily practice.
It is.
How would you describe your current purpose in life? Like, as in where you're at right now or even today?
My current purpose
and the reason why I ask that is because I believe that, when you're healing, when you're growing, when you're going through all these journeys, like there's somewhat of an intention, if you will. Mm-hmm. What is your intention then, if that's easier?
My intention, and I've actually had this intention for a very long time, and I don't really believe that, you make a birthday wish. If you don't tell someone your wish, ever since I can remember, every time I've seen a shooting star, blown out birthday candles, my wish always has been, I want to be happy. And my intention is to find true happiness and peace with myself. And that is my purpose right now, to find that. And that's a big task, but that's the intention. And I find it so the spiritual journey has been so encouraging to me, because once you start, you never stop. It's not something that one day you're going to go, I'm healed, I'm good, I'm done. It's truly for the rest of my life, I will be seeking out growth. And that is I'm so happy about that.
So liberating.
It is. I'm like, there's always more things to learn. There's always something else to explore within myself. And that is so exciting and wonderful.
Yeah. I love that. You're so right. Like the feeling of something ending or figuring something out is where all the pressure comes.
Yeah.
Right. When you're trying to complete something or you're trying to end something, you're trying to get something over the finish line. Like that's where all the stress and pressure and intensity comes from. Whereas when you say, well, I'm pretty much going to live with this. I had someone the other day ask me, actually, it's just jogged my memory. Someone said to me, they were like, well, how do I forget my past so I can move forward? I was like, you probably won't forget your past.
No.
And it's probably not a useful place to put your focus in trying to forget your past.
Yeah.
And knowing you'll never forget it liberates you, and then you can actually move forward and keep developing. And I find that sometimes our fixation's on completely the wrong target.
I agree.
And so we spend all this time trying to forget something.
Yeah.
And knowing that pretty much none of us can actually physically do that.
Well, that's what I feel about our conversation. I'm like, damn, I truly have been thinking I need to find myself, and now I actually need to just create it.
Yeah.
So that's been, thank you for that. That has been a
you led us there.
Impactful thing.
Well, you led us there.
Well, we got there together.
We got there together. All right, now we'll go to the final 5. These have to be answered in 1 word to 1 sentence maximum.
Okay, word to 1 sentence maximum.
1 sentence is, I don't know what the official breakdown is, maybe 7 words. I don't know, I'm making it up.
Okay.
All right, so what is the best advice you've ever received?
I will say my dad always told me growing up, find a job that makes you happy. Have a career in something that makes you happy. It makes the world of a difference.
That's Grace.
Yep.
Second question. What is the worst advice you've ever heard or received?
Probably don't cry.
Yeah. Question number 3. Something special that your mom did for you when you called her all those times. Something that you remember that stood out.
I think just her telling me that she would be there whenever I needed her. Sometimes just hearing that is so calming. So her reassurance that you can text me when you need me. Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. I love that. Question number 4, something you think people misunderstand about you if they don't know you deeply.
I think my outspokenness, is sometimes misinterpreted as ignorance, or attention seeking, whereas I just sometimes can't keep my thoughts to myself. But it's never from a bad place. It's from a place of, let's have a conversation. Not, this is my opinion and it's right. It's, no, I'm just trying to add my bit to the conversation, whether it's helpful or not. Yeah. It's going to be there.
I love that. And 5th and final question, which we ask every guest since day 1, is if you could create 1 law in the world that everyone had to follow, what would it be?
1 law?
Yeah. It can be anything. Take your time. This is
Okay, 1 law that anyone had to follow. The law that I would create is you are not allowed to tell another human being what they can and cannot feel. Period.
That's a great one. We've never had that before.
Oh, okay, so good. I was like, people probably said that before.
No. That's and it's completely aligned with this episode.
Yeah.
Everyone, Lili Reinhart, so grateful to have had this amazing conversation with you. I could talk to you for hours. So we have talked. It was so much fun getting to know you, and honestly, hearing about your journey in such a intimate, vulnerable way was so special for me personally.
For me as well. Thank you. I've been so looking forward to this.
Oh no, thank you. I had such a great time, and everyone who's been listening or watching back at home, I want to make sure that you share what stood out to you. I think there were so many incredible things that Lili mentioned, genuinely. So many amazing points, so many insights, so many great reflections that she had. And I love knowing what connected with you because, and I know she'd love to know too.
Love to know.
She's nodding along if you're not watching. She'd love to know too. So please do tag us on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter. You're allowed. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Like, do tag us to let us know what stood out. What was the point? What was the part? Because this is one of those ones that I think you're going to listen to a few times. And as I said before, there are moments in this episode that I want you to repeat and listen to over and over again, maybe multiple times a week, because that repetition to hear that message again is what really gives us that permission to do it in our lives. Lili, any final words, any thoughts, anything you want to share?
Just thank you. Thank you for having a space to talk about things that I 2 years ago didn't know were things to talk about. So I'm very grateful to have come into this world of wellness genuinely, and that you create this environment for the conversation.
Thank you. I deeply appreciate that.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.